All right. Well, I want to ask one more question before we get into our like rapid fire section.
Okay.
What do you have recommendations for favorite apps, resources, tools, to be great at budgeting life for travel besides your own resources, of course, besides your blog?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm like low tech, so I don't have, and I think it's because my iPhone's always like full of storage, so I never could have a lot of tech stuff. It's
I don't
really
have room
bad.
for tech.
Exactly, I don't have room for tech with my limited storage. But when I think about like some apps that I can't live without when I'm traveling abroad, I love to use a currency converter app. So I personally like Oanda, OANDA, but there's plenty of other ones. Because then I could literally see how much I'm spending in a different currency, and that will allow you to kind of price it out and say, this is kind of astronomical. Do I really want to spend that? So currency converter app is really helpful. There's also, I think the app is called Packlist. I think, but if you could find a packing app, that could also be really helpful. I hate packing. I love travel, but I hate packing. So I leave it to last minute, and having a packing list is really helpful because it just does all the math for me. It even looks at the weather for you.
Ooh.
So that's really, really helpful. So it tells you like when you're going, the weather may be this, so pack a sweater. So that's really helpful. And then there's also like lots of budgeting apps. Like if you need help with budgeting, there's a new app on the market called Cube. QUBE, Cube Money. So that could be a really good app. And they have different buckets. So it will act like different savings accounts. So if you're struggling with like, hey, I want to have multiple bank accounts, right? So you have different cubes and you could allocate different funds to different cubes. So I'm sure there's a app for everything, but it's all about like finding the one that helps you feel in flow and that doesn't feel like a chore to learn that new system.
I love that. Thank you for those very succinct recommendations.
Yes.
All right. We'll jump into the T2A Q2A, which is the Ticket to Anywhere Quick to Answer segment. And we got 4 questions for you. The first one is, why do you travel?
I travel to open my eyes to what is happening outside of my comfortable bubble and to really appreciate what life is like in a different place, in a different part of the world, and to learn about myself too. I learn new things about myself every time I go somewhere new and discover a part of me that maybe has awakened or a reminder, or maybe just a brand new part that I'm like, wow, this is really cool and interesting.
Yes, of course. Of course. All right. So do you have any rituals or routines when you get to a new city or country? Like the first thing you do?
First thing I do is likely find a walking tour, because I want to get a lay of the land on foot. So that would be my first thing to do. And even like now, I would still do a self-guided one. So I would like figure out if there's an app for that, or if I could just kind of DIY it myself. I want to be able to see. And I think walking is great because it's a slow approach to travel. So you're not like on a bus and you're being driven around. You might miss something cool and be able to pop into a place or pop into a store or something like that.
What items do you absolutely need with you on your trips?
Oh, the face mask, like to help me sleep on the, yeah, that is like super clutch. My water bottle, super clutch.
Yes.
My phone, of course, that's like super clutch. And those are the and my camera and also my podcast equipment. I bring my podcast equipment with me too. So those are like the essentials at this point.
Always ready.
Yeah.
Always ready. Always ready.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. Thanks for traveling sustainably with your water.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.